So guys, before we get started, don't forget we do have that amazing discount code thanks to Tier 0 Games going on right now. And all you have to do is put in ZWGames5 to get 5% discount on your total order at tier0games.com. The links will be in the description below. What's up YouTube, Darragh here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you, as I promised yesterday from the combo, a Rose Dragon deck profile. Now, with a little help from Joe and Chris as well, I've been able to kind of put this deck together to show you what the Rose Dragons can do. Now, keep in mind, the Rose Dragons get better and become more pure when we get Aroma's Jasmine, I believe it's Jasmine, or the plant link that we get in April, and then of course if we do end up getting Needle Fiber, it does get even better than that, and it can end the board with stuff like Dawn Dragster, Savage Dragon, and I believe one more negate as well. So that's the version that Chris has been working on. This is the version that Joe worked on, which produces the 3 Boral Dragons as well. So without further ado, what I'm going to do, I'll take you through the profile, show you what we've got, explain why we've got it, and then if you do have any questions, put them in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So let's zoom out a little bit and show you what we've got. So we start off with the brand new promo, White Rose Dragon. This card is probably the best card, which is why it's taken so long to actually get this deck up and running. So when this card is normal summoned, you special summon one Rose Dragon monster from your hand or grave except itself. Only use the effect once per turn. If you control a Dragon Tuner or Plant Tuner, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now that's a shame. Like, it would be better in this day and age to keep the cards with a bit more pace. And its effect should have probably been when this card is normal or special summoned, you can then summon another one from hand or grave. That would have made it a bit better, because then you use and abuse the first effect a lot more. Its second effect is, if this card is sent to the graveyard as sync material, you can send one level 4 or higher plant monster from your deck to the graveyard. So that's kind of nice in the later game and in the pure game as well, sending your plants to the grave. Triple Red Rose Dragon. If this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you special summon one Rose Dragon monster from your hand or deck except itself. Then if it was sent for the synchro summon of a Black Rose Dragon or plant synchro monster, you can also add one Frozen Rose or Blooming of the Dragon Rose from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect once per turn. So again, very, very good. But it doesn't combo off as well with white. Like, can you just imagine if you use this to synchro, then bring out white, and white brings it back? Like, that kind of, I think that's the pace that the modern game is at, which is where I feel that the Rose Dragons kind of fall back on at this moment in time. And then we've got the one Blue Rose Dragon, less relevant purely because of the fact that it has to be, when this card on the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, target one Black Rose Dragon or plant monster in your graveyard, special summon it. So that's only really good after you've made a Black Rose. And then the way it kind of works is you would make Black Rose, nuke the board, destroy Blue, and of course Rose, and then use Blue's effect to bring Rose back. So that's kind of the use that I see of it. It's not as relevant in, you know, as you would want it to be, but it's still very, very good and useful, and, you know, the Rose Dragons look beautiful as it is. Then onto the Dragon Engine, we've got Triple Gateway Dragon. This is just to extend your board that bit further, alongside a small rocket engine of 2 auto rockets, 2 Magna rockets, 1 rocket synchron, which I still haven't got because I haven't been able to pick mine up off of Joe yet. The 1 aesthetic rocket. Now you can use some of the new rockets as well, any of the new rockets you want. The only one that you must have is the synchron rocket, ironic really, because that kind of gets you into your Savage Dragon, as I showed you in the combo yesterday. Other than that, just a small rocket engine that you can use and abuse off of, you know, your quick launches and your boot sector launches, just to kind of extend your board with more dragons. So we have gone with a literal Rose Dragon build, just because it is the most powerful and most consistent version right now. You've then got the 1 Supreme King Dark Worm, you know why that is. The same with the 1 Red Eyes, and of course in all dragon decks right now is the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. So this of course helps you get into your triple Boral combo, and it uses and abuses the Rose's ability to summon from hand and grave as well, so you've got both late game and early game plays. Okay, so now on to the spells. We've got triple Allure of Darkness. Now everything is dark in your deck. The only cards you do not want to banish off of your Allure of Darkness are these 4 here: your Red Eyes Black Dragon, your Red Eyes Darkness Metal, your Supreme King Dark Worm, and your Rocket Synchron. Purely because everything else you play at multiples, and it's not the end of the world if they get banished. It helps you dig through your deck to get to your other combo pieces. Of course, triple Dragon Shrine, we know why this is so important from the combo. Send Darkworm, send Red Eye, send Darkworm, and off you go with your combo. Triple Call by the Grave, triple Quick Launch as your extension, alongside Instant Fusion as additional extension, and double Boot Sector Launch. Now, if you want to make these more prominent, you can of course increase certain cards in the deck just to increase the consistency. God, the chair wants to keep on creaking. So you keep your consistency of the deck. Ideally what you want to be doing is you want to be pushing to late game, have all of your stuff in play, and then revive pretty much your rockets. So if your opponent builds a board and you top deck this, it can be a very, very powerful top deck because it doesn't really lock you into anything. So if your opponent throws more monsters than you do, special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard in defense fusion, up to the difference. Now if you play the combo out correctly, you'll end up having quite a few cards in the graveyard, quite a few rocket cards in the graveyard. So then what you want to be doing is you can bring those all back and then start your link climb ability, moving through your guard dragons, pushing up into, of course, the powerful Borrelload, Borrelsword, and of course the dragons. So it's entirely up to you on how you want to push in that play as well. It is still a very, very good card. It doesn't need to be at 3 in the sense that it's not what you want to be relying on, because it is only useful late game. So what you want to keep in mind with that one is, because it is only late game, that you want to be able to balance your resources, and it's only in a die situation. But like I said, a top deck of this card is insane because it doesn't say that you have to control no monsters. It literally just means your opponent has to have more monsters than you do. So even if you're going through your normal combo and your opponent goes first, sets up a big board, you go through your normal combo. Once you've linked off into like when you've minimized your board, like when you're in your Summon Sorceress play from the combo, you can then bring it back with the activate this, and then you extend your board even further. So 2 World Legacy Succession, again for extension, alongside a World Legacy Guard Dragon. This can be a third of a Boot Sector Launch if you want, or of course a Terraforming. The 1 Foolish Burial, because again it helps fill up your graveyard, ditching kind of your Red Eyes, your Darkworm. Or what kind of can work is if you've already Dragon Shrined and you've got a white rose in hand, but you don't have any other roses to play off of it, you can activate Foolish Burial, send the red rose to the graveyard, and then of course off you go with your white rose and abusing his effect. And then of course the 1 Monster Reborn as well, because bringing back any of your beast monsters is only going to help extend. And if you bring back your red dragon, your your Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, there we go, from the graveyard with a Monster Reborn, you're only extending even further because it then becomes like a Monster Reborn for 2. Now on to the extra deck. We'll go through the fusion first. So the 1 fusion we play is a Dark Fire Dragon. That is of course your instant fusion target. Very, very good in this deck because it is a level 4 or lower dragon monster. You can play multiples if you wish to make instant fusion more consistent, but you should only really need to resolve an instant fusion once in this deck, and then off you go. For the links, of course, we're going to go with... actually, let's start with the Synchros. So for the Synchros, of course, it is a Rose Dragon deck. So you want to play your Black Rose Dragon and your Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. Then, of course, for your negates or just additional extenders that you can bring off of your Guard Dragon Agapane, you've got your Red Dragon, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Of course, this is your additional negation. You've also got Crystal Wind that you can use. In time, you've got Scarlight as well. So what I love about this deck is it has the ability to, if your opponent, if you get cool time and you're in your main phase, you don't need to worry. As long as you can make Scarlight, you'll win the game. And by the time you can make Scarlight, if you wanted to extend even further, I think you can end the board with 4 monsters on board, maybe a little bit more. So straight away, you're going to hit your opponent for 2k, so it's a nice little swing in time. And then, of course, your Borrelload Savage Dragon. Part of the combo, very, very important, very, very powerful. Now onto the links. Of course, we've got the Guard Dragon engine, so you've got the 1 LP, the 1 Pitsy, and the 1 Agapane. You then got your twin Triangle Dragon, your triple Burst Dragon, and then of course you've got your Summon Sorceress. So these cards, as you can imagine, are all very, very important that they climb you into your combos to get you into any of your negations. And then of course, as you can expect in a Dragon deck, the last 2 cards are Borrelsword and Borrelload. Both your power play cards, very, very good in the deck. And as you can see, if you want to go aggression, you end up with a board of the 3 Borrels with a light negate to kind of finish your opponent off. If you want to go defensive, you end the board with a Borrel Sword, which could be a Borrel Load if you want to, with a Savage Dragon, and then on top of that, a Crystal Wing, Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend Abyss, or a Scarlight. So it can give you a lot of plays. Very, very powerful, and cause your opponent a lot of issues. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you liked it. I hope this gives you a couple of ideas on your own build. Like I said, we do have a pure build kind of up and running, but it does require some OCG cards, so I didn't feel that it was necessary to kind of bring you that profile just yet. I thought I'd bring you a fully operational TCG legal working deck, especially after the combo yesterday, because if your best board ends you with triple Borrel, that is game. So this has a not a 1 card, but it has a 1 turn win con in the deck, and then of course it has some backup plays as well that it can use and abuse to set up your board, clear your opponent's board, and then of course set up a less impressive board, but still an impressive board for your opponent to deal with. Like I said, if you don't open up with a perfect combo, you can still end the board with 2 negates in the form of a Savage Dragon and possibly an Abyss Dragon as well. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up, YouTube? Dad here from YUGIOH. Thanks for watching that video. If you liked it, please hit that big thumbs up button in the bottom corner as well. And don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button so you don't miss out on anything. Make sure you click that notification bell as well so you know every time one of our new videos goes up. Throughout the whole year of 2019, we're going to have more deck profiles, duels, and of course pack openings for you guys to watch and enjoy the entire year round. So stay tuned for more, and as always guys, happy dueling.